Hello, everyone. I'm Sergei. Yeah, I think this one. I'm Sergei. Local call me Sergi or Spanish Sergio, as you wish, as you prefer. I'm an engineering manager at Manychat, and I have 20 with something years of experience in software development, and the most of this part is some big tech in Russia, so you may know some company. Today I will talk about CI/CD observability in Frontend, but the Frontend is because my main responsibility on the front end, but you can use this kind of techniques, these kind of tools in your any type of software development, mobile development, backend development, or so on. So a short, maybe, what is CI/CD? Just for clarify, it's some techniques, some practice that help you to improve your development process, seamless integration of your features, and so on. If you don't know what is it, we can talk about this later. So let's talk about why we today talking about observability. Let's start for just simple question. Is 10 minutes long for your build? Who can answer the question? 10 minutes. Is it long for your build? Yes? No?
Medium. Depends on your app.
It's okay, yeah. Okay, and 5 minutes, I think it's fine, yeah? But when we talk about this kind of metrics, this kind of measuring of time, we should understand why we talk about this time span. As Baron Kelvin once said that if we can measure something, we can talk about it. We can fix it, we can improve it, we can do different things, but we should start to measure it. And in CI/CD, what we are measuring, what the steps we are measuring. For start, we should separate our steps on their nature. So it's a build process, it's a preparation, for example, npm install, environment setup, test environment, stage environment, production environment, or something. There's some build phases, so we should know what kind of phase we build: main application, and models application models for our application, and so on. And of course, the test, unit test, UI test, end-to-end test. We should measure and understand what time it cost us, what resources they cost us, and of course, deploy the result. We should understand how much time we spent for deploy, how fast is it, and how we should improve it. When we talk about metrics of CI/CD, we should mention that there is some DORA metrics. Maybe you heard about it. DORA is a DevOps research and assessment team that was found in 2014. They are focused on 4 meaningful metrics on CI/CD process. It's deployment frequency, how often software team pushes to production. It's lead time for changes, how the time it takes to commit code to the production, change failure rate. It's like the shares incident, rollbacks, failures, and all kind of these deployments to the production. And time to restore service. It's how much time it costs us to restore our broken service. I want to talk about our case. There's a simple case. It's maybe similar to your project, but when I came to Manychat 4 years ago, there was the one big step to build our application. It was just some drone. Maybe you heard about this. It was build process which takes 20 minutes. When I ask, is that long? Many of our internal guys said, yeah, it's okay. 12 minutes, why not? It's not so long. We can build it, we can drink a coffee, we can wait until this will be successful. But it's one step with unclear timing. If something went wrong, sorry, we don't understand what is going on. We should go deeper to logging. We should spend a lot of time to investigate what's going wrong. And if we didn't split this step on small parts, it can be that it's not only one fix when you try to fix this process. So it may be 20 minutes once, 20 minutes two times, and so on. And in worst case, it can be 1 hour just until you fix the CI/CD pipeline. And in our case, as I said before, we can't run the parallel jobs. It was a limitation of the instruments, so it was drawn with quite an old version. It was not my main focus, but I started to investigate what tools we can use to fix this problem, fix these metrics, and try to handle control of our process. And we are using GitHub to develop. And the first instrument which should to consider it was GitHub Action with this kind of cat. As we start to move to a new instrument, we just get from the box the first result. We can use the parallel jobs. It's help us to help us to improve our speed line because we can run different jobs in parallel and don't wait to when, for example, type checking finish to start the building or something like that. We getting a visual flow, so we just can see what's going on wrong, on what takes too long time. And first one, we get the custom runners. So we can using GitHub runners. We can create some local runners with big resources. And I think a couple of months or maybe half years ago, GitHub ran this GitHub runners with choosing the type of resource what you can use. So we right now don't using self-hosted runners because GitHub runners are cost less, don't need to set up, don't need to autoscale, and we getting it from the box. So some points with what we have after we set up this kind of configuration. First of all, we get clear metrics about our steps. It's I think it's last November. How much time we spend to each meaningful steps to build, to deploy, to linting or something like that. We get, as I said, step separation. We can separate our steps as we wish. It's like our meaning of the configuration of our build process. And we can focus to the biggest steps to fix the problem. And after this, our build step start to spend less time. It's 1 minute. Unit test, as you may see, it was something to 3 minutes or near. And UI test is only 1 minute. And of course, deploy is about 30 seconds, but it's not our part. We just prepare our resources to deploy, and the most part of deploy it on our infrastructure guys. And of course, we set up a monitoring of these steps, and we see it in dynamic, and we can understand what's going on if something went wrong. I cannot fail to mention the tools that help us. At first, it was ESBuild. We have moved to ESBuild to build our project. It was really fast. We are using previous Webpack, but as I said, the main time span was on building our project with Webpack. And ESBuild on the dev environment right now build us 5 seconds, I think. Yeah, 5 seconds, it's super fast. And it has a plugin system which fully understandable to front-end developers, for JavaScript developers. You can write your plugin to all process in ESBuild. And of course, we are moved to Playwright. It's a UI testing system from Microsoft. It has really good developer experience. We previously was using Cypress, but it was really hard to take control on your failures in UI test, and Playwright is getting it better. And of course, it's fast. And the last one, we are using CloudWatch in our infrastructure, so we use dashboards and metric collection in CloudWatch. It cost us really, I think, 1 day to set up these dashboards to our meaningful metrics. And do we want anything else? What can we do to try to fix the process, to think about the metrics, to measure it, to improve it? And yeah, I was asking, what about the first steps we should focus when something going longer? We right now in GitHub Action and in CloudWatch don't have information about time sequencing. We can't understand the main points of effort to focus and to fix the problem. And I think about some kind of flame graph or Gantt graph. This visualization can help you to understand the sequences of the process and fix the main bad step in your CI/CD pipeline. So I started a hackathon for our internal guys, just to try getting out from routine, just to try to get some fun. And in 1 day, the team with the 2 developers wrote internal service to visualization of our process. And this I think it's the last one built from our CI/CD GitHub Action process. And on this kind of information, we can understand which step goes after which one, and which step taking a long time. And here we see that the tests are the major part of this timeline. And even if we run in parallel mode, the test will the main consumer of our resources and time. So what we achieved the end, at current state. We split our process and speed up on the build 3 times. And we significantly improve the feedback loop on this process. We can observe the all process in our CI/CD pipeline, and we get some fun and develop internal tools. And as a side effect, we reduced the pricing of our pipeline process. I think it was not a goal, but we achieved it. I think 200 in a month will reduce of our resources. And where should you start? The first one, of course, is to separate your steps, of course. The second, you just focus not on the big steps, but the meaningful steps, which impact on your full CI/CD pipeline timeline. And you should set up and collaborate both and build tools and CI/CD infrastructure. And you should make this process not on demand measuring, but continuous measuring, just to focus on each day releases and each day measurement of your steps. I collect some resources just to information if you're interested in observability and instruments of observability. And you can scan it. I will switch the slide if you want. Yeah, I think. And that's all. That's my contacts. If you need something to ask me after this meetup, you can write me on a mail or my contacts. Thank you.
Anyone has any questions?
Yeah.
You will need to
There
shout,
is.
because we all
Yeah.
have mics.
Can you expand a bit on UI testing? Are you testing end-to-end, and are you have good coverage? Because 1 minute is unreal to me.
Yeah, we have only critical paths to test in UI test, because it's really hard to support. Because when you develop a feature, the UI always change, and you should to replace your assets, replace your stubs or something like that. So we're using just a critical path. We have, I think, 10 or maybe 15 tests to our main features. And we don't test UI as pixel perfect, but we're testing UI as user flow. So user scenario should persist from start to the end.
I guess just following that, are you using like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, there was one question, and I think yes.
So following the idea of the test and the fact that you mentioned 2 minutes of unit testing, more or less.
Yeah.
So did you find a policy about when to run the test in order to, for instance, let's unblock the staging and development environments from deploying, and let's like move the resources and run the whole suite?
Yeah. We try to detect what kind of source code was changed to run the separate test. But I think right now, 3 minutes, it's not too long to just to be sure that you didn't miss something. But if you pipeline with unit test takes you 50 time or something, you should build some heuristic mechanism to understand which test you should run in pull request. And at the end, I think you should run all tests after you merge your code base to the main branch before release.
Without blocking deployment? Without blocking like development deployment?
Yeah, without blocking. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the question was like, are you mocking network calls, or are you actually like spinning up the server?
Yeah, good question. Just before we using Playwright, we used Cypress, and there was a lot of red UI tests. And we write some middleware to mocking the network request, and we mocking network request on the local machine. Then we submit this as stubs and run the test on CI/CD pipeline. And after moving to Playwright, we just rewrite the solution. And I think in the last releases of Playwright, they implement some kind of this procedure in Playwright itself. Yeah.
Do you think for example, for observability in your pipelines and stuff like that, to make traceability, with the spams and stuff like that, for know why some tests are slow or not?
Sorry, why
So you make traceability for make the understand the process why some tests are slow.
Not yet. Yeah.
If you have in mind.
It will be our next steps to improve our unit testing, because right now we have 1,000 or 2,000 of tests, but 3 minutes is too long for this kind of test, and we should investigate what.
13K. 13K tests.
Сколько?
13 or 14K tests.
14. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so pure curiosity, maybe I'm asking something that's not that important. I noticed on your deploys that there was like a Sentry finalization, release finalization step or something, and it was 43 seconds. Like, what is it? Is it uploading artifacts, or what's going on there?
Yeah, we are using Sentry to monitor our application production, and just we should upload source maps to Sentry and fix our release hash just to assign these source maps to the release. And then in Sentry we can see what kind of errors was in this release or something else.
So it's probably like really large files.
Yeah, I think it's about couple tens of megabytes. Couple tens of megabytes. Yeah.
How do you deploy step 1 second?
Deploy it 30 seconds?
Deploy to AWS? Or are you assuming you're deploying to AWS?
Yeah, there was asterisk. There was an asterisk with our metrics, because we measure this deployment step until we process the resources to the infrastructure, and then it can be a little bit longer. But I think the whole process of the release, it's 50 seconds, maybe. Because our web app not so high loaded. We have 2 data centers and a couple of machines in data centers, so its upload is not very long on this. Yeah, I think I should.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.